never-before-seen footage, witness the hedonistic rise and the chaotic crash of Damian Morris in his pursuit of fame and celebrity. This is the story behind the music. As a child, Damian was close to a stuffed bear he named John Holmes. Damian wanted more for John than just a life as a kid's toy in Middletown, New York. So he sent him off to Hollywood to make it big, a dream he also had for himself. Make it John did, and Damian, missing his stuffed friend, who was now living his dream, would raid the icebox and sit all day in front of the TV, just waiting for one of John's commercials to appear. Damian was an angelic child. He proved himself a favorite of his Catholic priests. He adored the fathers, a friend observed, but they adored him more. They literally knelt before him. In high school, he aspired to basketball stardom. He could dunk by the time he was a sophomore, as long as the basket was 6 feet off the ground. He adored his friend, Murph. "I loved hanging out with Damian in those days," Murph said. "We were like yin and yang, Lewis and Martin, Pope and Crosby. He was goofy, I wasn't. I got the girls. He didn't. It was a perfect friendship." During his college years, Damian faced many struggles. In this interview with his college roommate, the roommate describes one particularly troublesome issue.
In his early premenstrual years, premetrosexual years, Damian was convinced that the following song was about a homosexual encounter between Van Morrison and some unknown third party. Conflicted as he was about his own sexual orientation, Damian played this song non-stop, undoubtedly alternately fantasizing about being the object of Van's lyrics, or making a mere raised eyebrow to let everyone know that he, Damian, was in the know about Van.
It was around this time that the devil came into Damian. First cigarettes, then loose women. He began to search for meaning in his daily existence, to utilize his college education to its fullest. Finally, Damian found some peace, and that peace was Suzanne.
And Damian was lamenting his womanless state. and he, after he got up on the table and screamed at the top of his lungs, "I want a woman!"
Ever more infatuated with music, Damian insisted on a karaoke wedding.
Like a river flows, surely.
Basking in the glow of their recent marriage, Damian and Suzanne were off to Australia. Damian was smitten. He wanted to show his devotion to his new bride in song. He wrote lyrics and music, arranged the song for the standard rock setup, and hired the finest musicians. Pete Reed was lead guitar and backup vocals. Eric Clapton was on rhythm. That one-armed Def Leppard dude was on drums. And the world-renowned Dave Schoenbrunn on bass. Of course, Damian was lead vocal. The stage was set for the debut of Damian's song. He and Suzanne were to dine at the fabulous five-star restaurant El Fuego. As soon as the fish tacos and burritos were cleared, Damian took the stage and belted out his musical masterpiece, I Touch Myself. It was an instant local hit. The tragedy of that night is that members from the Aussie band The Divinals were in the crowd. They heard the song, stole it, turned it into an international hit, and never paid Damian a dime in royalties. He was crushed, his faith in human nature betrayed. Though deeply hurt by this memory, Damian continues to touch himself frequently today. He calls it shaking hands with the mayor. Depressed and bitter from his experience in Australia, Damian left Suzanne behind and moved on to Hollywood. Now obsessed with his pursuit of fame, he tried the music scene once again. He landed a few low-budget movie roles and gained some notoriety. His ego soaring, he soon had his own entourage and started calling himself D-Fed. Movie roles got bigger and the co-stars sexier, and D-Fed was at the pinnacle of his celebrity. But celebrity came with a price as Damian's life plunged into gossip and scandal. Then D-Fed made the mistake of his life. He hooked up with Brittany. Brittany got pregnant. And little D-Fed was soon born. Damian, however, found no joy in these events. He felt isolated, empty, and depressed. Then things fell apart. Really apart. Embarrassed and downtrodden, Damian needed a new start. At the suggestion of his manager, Damian left to tour the country with the band The Dixie Chicks. Singing songs and speaking out against the war in Iraq, Damian felt like a new man. Until one fateful day, when he was arrested by Homeland Security for political agitation and sent before a military tribunal. President Bush, taking a personal interest in his case, pronounced sentence. Damian and his manager were sent to Guantanamo Bay to serve out their sentence as enemy combatants. Freed from prison, Damian put his D-Fed days of celebrity behind him. He returned to Suzanne and retired to a quiet family life in Foster City, California. Today, the man behind the music is the devoted husband behind the wife, adored father behind the children. Not just family provider, he is also corporate provisioner extraordinaire. Ever the artist, he has given rise to a new concept in the high-tech landscape, the broadband bureaucrat. Damian may work for the man, but he has not ceased railing against the man. He has found a new place for his voice, a blog called DJ's Detritus. There he has found a vent for a distinctive combination of piercing observation, common sense, wit, and verbal garbage. An audience has flocked to his blog, and now enjoys as many as 2 clicks a week. He has tapped into a boomer zeitgeist. From it, he now rails against war, violence, and the gun lobby. It has distinguished him as a pacifist and animal rights activist. This man behind the music would never hurt a flea. A rat, however, is another story.
I would be nothing without you. Did you you're my hero?
My hero.